I'm going to go to the chair to begin. Welcome to Qigong on Monday morning. Today we'll be focusing on the thymus glands, as well as the immunity system, which is regulated by the thymus gland, the adrenals and the kidneys, and our lungs, as well as many other good juicy things. So join me. And good morning, everyone. So I'm going to start in the chair as I normally do. If you're on the floor, that's fine. We are going to be standing up soon, but I just want to remind people that are limited to a chair that it's not a limitation at all, that it is an opportunity for you to consider all the ways that you can use the chair as a tool for your well-being. So if you're in the chair, remember to sit forward. The more you sit forward, you bring the shoulders over the hips and it keeps your diaphragm open. That is why when you're sitting in a chair, sitting back is when we tend to relax. You crumple up the intestines and it does not benefit the health of the organs. So forward, preferably in a chair that's not a lazy boy. That's the best thing to be in for these practices. So we're going to go through our regular routine of the tapping and the breath work. But today we're also going to focus on the thymus and the lung points, as well as the adrenals. So the kidneys regulate circulation, and the adrenals are what flush the toxins out of the body. So that's what we're going to be emphasizing in today's practice. Today we're just going to start, as we normally do, with coordinating the breath with some slow, gentle movements. This is lift the sky. Lace your fingers and turn the palms out. Remember, if you can't lift your arms up all the way, just do as much as you can. When you bring your arms up over your head, push high into the sky. Think about creating space between the ribs and the hips, so as you push up through the heel of the hands, you're keeping the body long. Fill your body with breath, and then close your eyes, and as you exhale, bring your arms from the sky down toward the earth. Notice if you're feeling any tingling through the fingertips or palms. Fully empty your breath. Begin the next. Inhale. Bring the hands to the sky. Push high up into the clouds. Sip in some more breath. Part the hands. Exhale. One more. Inhale, lift the palms into the sky. Push high up into the sky. Sip in a little more breath. Keep that long, tall spine. Part your hands and exhale. Good. So, ocean breathing is what we're going to do next. We'll do it in the chair a few times, and then I'm going to stand. Remember, the moment is that you're reaching back, like you're gathering in a wave. This is on the inhale. Wash the hands in toward the lower dantian. That's right below your belly button. Your hands do not touch your body. They're just going to hover near the abdomen. So imagine if you're sitting in a big pool of water, and as I bring my arms forward, I'm going to curl the spine to open up that space between the shoulder blades. Breathe in and exhale. See how I'm sort of rocking on the back of my tailbone. Tailbone curls out a little bit, just putting a little gentle movement to the spine. I'm going to stand, and the difference is when you're standing, you want to have your feet underneath your hips. Again, I'm going to be at an angle just so you can see what I'm doing. I'm leaning forward onto the ball of the foot and then back into the heel. My foot does not leave the ground. So again, you're standing in a big pool of warm, beautiful turquoise water. So there is a color associated with each organ, and the color associated with the kidneys is a dark blue. So think about being in the middle of an motion. Leaning back into the heels. Feel that wave pulling you forward and back. 3 more. Breathe in, gathering. Exhale. 1 more. Good. And now we're going to lift the sky. So again, in the chair, I'll pull this back just a little bit so you can see my arms. Because I have big ones, long arms. I'm forward on the chair, and I'm going to slide my hands across each other, but they don't touch. One hand faces up, turn the thumb up. When you curl the thumb up, you're spiraling the tendons, and the spiraling action is very healthy for helping to cleanse out the tissues. So we're going to cross the arms, point the thumb up, and the other hand is just going to come in line with your hip bone. Imagine you're pressing down with the palm and up with the heel of the hand here in the sky. And then you're going to twist toward the open sky. Come back in the center, crossing the arms without them touching. Exhale. Breathe in. Just for focus, keep your eyes connected with your upper hand. Feel your breath empty as you press. Inhale. Exhale. People that are standing, same movement. My knees stay bent. Breath in as the hands cross, knees are bent. Exhale. Try this with a smile on your face. Why? Because it changes the message you're sending into your body. Your cells are susceptible to your thoughts. So you want to send them in a feeling of beauty and calm and peacefulness, just like the breath we're using right now. Inhale, exhale. And take this little moment as you're focusing on the exhale, make it long. Just recognize that miracle that you're living in. You don't even have to really consider whether or not you believe this is doing anything. Remember, the seasons are going to change. We can't control certain things. What we can control is our breath and our movements to some degree. So you're going to just do as much movement as you can today. Bring your hands to your lower dantian. That's just placing them here on your abdomen, letting them touch. Take a couple of breaths. Just feel free to close your eyes. If you're feeling anxious, maybe you've already watched the news and made that little mistake this morning, go inside your breath. Fill up your whole body. Feel your abdomen swell with the breath. And as you exhale, feel the abdomen move into the chest. Good. Do one more long breath. Good. And we're going to go to the kidneys. It's a very similar movement. I'll demonstrate in the chair. If you're standing, stay there. You're going to leave your feet wider, and you're going to be turning your finger up to one side as the other hand's going to come behind you and tap right below the ribs. So the arm that's going up into the sky, the heel is going to lift up off the ground. When you come back to center, you're just going to switch to the side. See my thumb spiral up, and I get a little tap right below the rib cage. Lift the heel with the arm that's going up into the sky. The toes stay on the ground the whole time. Tap. So it's this movement. In the chair, you can do a variation of this with us if you're forward in the chair. Okay. So again, just leave the toe on the ground, lift the heel. You're only lifting your arms as much as they'll lift up today. Stand to do the last 3. If you're in the chair, stay there. 3 more on each side. I'll face you this time. So one arm's going to cross. You're just going to keep going. Tap. It's a pretty hardy tap if you're able to. One more. Good. So, next we're going to continue with the kidneys. We're going to be stimulating the kidney points at the bottom of the feet. So there's a bubbling well point at the bottom of the feet. In the chair, you can do a variation. If you're standing and you have balance problems, like we did last week, you're just going to lift one arm and leg at a time. You can hold on to a chair and just do this much. Okay, so you'll be doing it to both sides, or you can lift up one of the toes and heavy on the heels. Lift up like you're pulling something down and throwing it out behind you. So from the side, see me drop down heavy into the heels. If you're in a chair, same thing, just lift the toes, drop the heels. Put an exhale with it. Remember, your exhale is when your body's letting go of what it doesn't need. So let's put a big exhale, especially if you have any thoughts that are bothering you. I'm going to do 3 more on each side, or doing both sides, just stay there. If you're doing this version, 3 more. What are we doing? We're opening up the lymph nodes under the armpits, stimulating the kidneys. So we're just helping to stimulate circulation through the body. Let's do 1 more. Good. And now we're going to shake the tree just to complement that. So remember, shaking the tree, you lift the shoulders and let them drop. My knees are bent, hands are flicking something off. So I want you to imagine all those things that are bothering you are on your fingertips, and you're trying to shake them off. If you have trouble lifting the shoulders and flicking your hands, focus on the shoulder part first. And just imagine that your arms are not attached to your body. So if I'm in a chair, it's the same thing. I'm just shaking. The other day I was thinking, I don't know why this makes me laugh, but I think it reminds me of when I used to jump up and down on the trampoline. So think of this time when you were doing something that made you feel silly. Your feet stay connected to the ground. Again, stay inside of your exhale. And give me 3 long, open mouth exhales. This is a great way to take a break if you've been sitting a long time. And when you're done, just bring your body to stillness. Bend your wrist. Turn your palms to the floor. Same if you're in the chair. Just bending the wrist. Close your eyes. Focus on the center of your palm. And notice if you feel any tingling through your fingertips or the center of the palm. This tingling is what they call chi. And that essentially could be defined as circulation, positive and negative energy. It's the energy that shamans have used. You can make little circles. And that's the energy we have within us that people have been using for centuries to heal their own body. So now, just in case you're tired, we're going to go to some pressure points and more breath. So I'm going to move a little closer to you so you can see exactly where I'm going to be working. I'm going to bring this with me for doing the breath work. So first points that we're going to be doing are stimulating the thymus. So what I want you to do is to bring your hands, so I wore this, you can see my big collarbones. So I have these big collarbones. Slide your fingers, you can use your thumbs, and just rub underneath on top of the collarbone. So rub the collarbone from the center out toward your shoulders. If it feels tender, do it a few more times today. Remember, when you are stressed out, it's cortisol. That's the hormone released by the adrenals. The adrenals are back here by your kidneys. So that's why we were doing the tapping to stimulate the kidneys. And the thymus regulates your immunity system too. So this is why we want to stimulate these points. The next point is going to be here, where if you follow your collarbone into where the shoulder hinges, feel that point. If you push in, it's going to feel a little tender and weird feeling. And that's where you want to rub. So just rub into that point. And go a few times in each direction. You can do this multiple times during the day. Now we're going to do the other side. Really, if you'll feel if one side feels a little more tender in which direction that you are making your circles, you'll just reverse in the other direction. Just do whatever feels right for you. General rule, 8 or more times in each direction. Some people say 100 times. If you do a few series of 10 during the day, you've met your mark. Now we're going to do both hands on the points. You can cross your arms. And as you push into those points, take a breath. I'm going to lift my elbows so you can see my ribs. You can leave your elbows down if you want. Breathe in and see if you can feel your ribs moving out to the side as you're pushing in on these points. So I'm pushing in on that point. Fill up your whole body. And push in, find that point again if you lost it. So always the breath is in through the nose, never in through the mouth. Remember, the nose has little hairs, and after a certain age, if you forgot, you will notice them even more. Just breathe in, and remember the hairs are there to filter out any toxins in the air. One more. And then lower your arms. You can even brush your hands down the front of your chest. This has a little calming effect, right? So this calming effect will help, again, just to remind you it's all going to be all right. Next, we're going to tap on the thymus. So you're going to use the padded part of your thumb, and you can tap. So let me remove this so it doesn't make any funky sound. We're going to tap right at the center of the chest. So you find your bones and go right down between the two. And the tapping can be soft or harder and faster. There's no rule to this. You can certainly sit there and watch TV. Again, you're stimulating the glands inside the body by this tapping. So that is why we do the tapping all over the body. But I'm particularly focusing on these points just to remind you that you can help stimulate your own immunity system just with a few little things that you do each day. All right? So I hope that that's something you can remember. I'm going to review just for a little moment. You're going to use your fingers on the collarbone and rub from the center out to one side. You can do one side at a time or both together. And the other point, slide your finger from the bone to where you feel the shoulder and the joint and push in. And you'll feel again, it'll be a little bit tender. That's normal. Doesn't mean anything's wrong with you. Just rotate it. Eventually it will feel less tender. Just putting some circulation in there. So try to remember those points while you're sitting or taking a walk even. So those are some things to be a little food for thought for this week. I'm going to go to the breath because remember, The lungs are imperative during this COVID. So we're gonna do something different, which is part of the healing Tao system that I've studied. Every organ has a sound associated with it. I wanna go over the lung sound with you today. So the lung sound is the sound of like a snake. And some veins of Qigong, and I'm gonna say a vein, it could even be a capillary. There's many different schools of Qigong, and that's because this was all developed in these little rural villages of China, and the intention was specifically to keep you well. So the sound can either be like a snake or a zzz, almost like a bee. Pick which one you think is more fun to use today. The movement, again, I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing. I'm not going to touch my hands, but I'm just going to like scrape, like I'm imagining I'm scraping up the lungs. And I'm going to turn my hands up to the sky, looking up at the sky. Again, breathe in, curl the wrist up, and you look up with your eyes open, like you're sending it out in the sky. Breathe in, a bright white light, turn the hands. Let's do 2 more. Breathe in. Last one. So these healing sounds are really important because it stimulates the tissues in the body. Let's go to focusing more on the lungs right now. Again, it doesn't matter whether you're in a chair or standing. You can do these anytime. If you have to drive to the store at any point, or take a walk, you could be making these sounds as you walk. It doesn't matter. You're in your mask now, and so maybe no one will even hear you. Let's concentrate on filling up your body with the breath. Again, if you're able to put your hands on the side of your ribs, that's great, because then you can feel the ribs expanding to the side. And then feel the hands moving in toward the spine when you empty your breath. So, again, feel the ribs out, body's full of breath. Sip in a little more, sustain it in your body. This is the breath we want to continue using for our class, so we're just going to keep going with it a few more times. The longer and slower the breath, the calmer the mind. Again. Picture that pure oxygen filling every part of your body. Last one. I'm going to challenge you to keep this breath going as I move back to the chair. And you can stay wherever you are in your home. We're going to be doing a little bit of joint work. So as I transition, keep that breath going. And now let's just concentrate on bringing circulation into the joints. So one leg, ankle rolls. Take the opposite wrist. Try to go in a different direction. Just to get your brain flowing. Go in the other direction. So if you are thinking, how much should I do this? Pick a number, 6 or 8 or 10, and do the same in each direction. And then empty that arm and leg and go to the other side. If you hear any cracking or popping, and that's something that you've always heard, don't worry, it's nitrogen that's released as the tendon rolls over the bone. Good. And now we're going to go to a little bit of moving the head. If you're in the chair, you're going to move forward. Let's just all do this. You can do this version standing, but wide leg if you can. Hands at the knees. Your hands are going to be kind of inside the knees. So you're going to take a breath in, lean over your one leg, and whatever leg you're leaning over, this hand's going to push out. Slide from one side to the other and press. And roll up through the spine. Bring your head back to center and repeat. Exhale, tilt the shoulder toward the knee. Slide from one leg to the other, tilt the shoulder toward the knee, roll up through the spine. We're going to continue again. So this is a variation of a move called turtle emerges from the ocean. We're going to go to the other side. Tilt the shoulder, just like you were a turtle, lifting up, coming up out of the water. Look up toward the sky. Bring your body back to center, tilt the shoulder toward the knee, empty the body with the breath. Inhale as you lift up. And one more time, exhale. Inhale. Good. So, again, we're just giving a little movement to the spine. Let's do spinal cord breathing while we're in that motion of the spine movement. Again, the spine is key to the central nervous system. If you're watching too much TV and you're not moving, it's important to keep the spine healthy. So I'm going to do this in the chair. I know some people are not able to get out of the chair, and then I'll stand and do it standing a few rounds. So the first 2 rounds I'll just do in the chair, the rest I'll do standing. If you can stand, please do. It's really not healthy to sit a lot. Curl the tailbone back, squeeze in the shoulders, look up, and put that smile on your face. Take a breath in. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under, chin to chest, elbows together. Inhale, look up, squeeze in, big smile. Exhale. Breathe in. Exhale. I'm going to stand up for the rest. Again, bend, knees are bent, tailbone's back, squeeze in the shoulders, look up on the inhale. Exhale. Tuck in the tailbone. Breathe in. Exhale. You can bring your feet in underneath your hips on the exhale. So step out on the inhale, tailbone back. Exhale. Curl in. Inhale, look up. Squeeze in the shoulder blades. Exhale. 2 more. Breathe in. Exhale. Last one. Good. Now we're going to do hip rolls. So remember, the hips are the center of the body. If you're in a chair, I want you to just work on the shoulder part, moving the upper body. But see if you can't visualize it. Visualize it if you're not able to get out of the chair. Otherwise, your feet are wider than your hips. Rotate. And just let your shoulders go where they want in the beginning. Imagine there's a big hula hoop on the ground, and we're circling that hula hoop. I'll get you ready, so as soon as the weather breaks a little bit, maybe you can get a hula hoop on Amazon and practice in your living room if you can't get outside. The best part about this time is it gives you an opportunity to pick up on some old things that you used to love and find joy in. And this is exactly what Qigong is intended to do. It's to make you feel better, but there's other things you can do. Finding some little funny, crazy thing you used to do when you were a kid. And play. Play is when you release stress. Think of things that have no outcome, no competition, just doing it for the joy of it. Now we're going to leave the shoulders still, so if you want to put your hands on your rib cage, and again, just from the angle so you can see that my upper body stays still. I'm just using the lower body to create the rotation. Go in the other direction. You are able to tilt the tailbone under. It's all part of opening up the lower part of the spine. But because gravity is always pushing us down, and our key is to create the space between those vertebrae, right? So that's why we're rolling in and tucking under helps to open up this space here. So let's go to the tapping now. If you have a sock, or some people use the whisk broom in our class, you can grab that. If you don't have anything like that, just use your knuckles or your fingertips. You're going to pick what's going to feel right on your body, okay? I'll use this simply because it's here. Start at the top of the neck. And remember, as you move down through the body, that we're thinking of the body in planes. So there's a top, side, bottom, other side, okay? So we're going to tap. Again, use your fist or your fingertips. And tap as much as it's comfortable for you. Come all the way down to the fingertips. Go on one side of the arm. When you get to the hand, try tapping the side of the fingers. Inside of the arm. When you get to the elbow, give some extra tapping there. Since we crease it a lot, some chi gets blocked in the elbows. Go through the fingers. I'm going through each one at a time. And then go under the arm. Back up the arm. Tap across the collarbone. Go very soft across the front where the heart is. If you stay above the heart, you want to catch the thymus. You can work in that area with your hand, like we did earlier. Come to the side of the neck. Down the arm. Inside of the arm. Outside. And I'm sorry if I'm too far away from the camera, but I'm a tall person, so I hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm just tapping down the limb. Now I'm going to lift my arms, so again, you can do however much movement you have. Just try to create space under the armpit. Tap really nice underneath the armpit. Go in front, on the chest, down the front of the ribs, side of the ribs, down the side of the body. And come across the bottom of your rib cage. Do the same thing over here. Lift up the arm, tap underneath the armpit. Go down the end of the rib cage, front of the ribs. Just doing as much as it feels right for your body today. Go across the front of the diaphragm. My sock's got a little tail on it. If you see that swinging, that's what that is. And so this can be very tender, especially under the rib cage. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong. That's where your diaphragm is. So that can be tender. Just move down a little bit and really try to tap into your intestines, moving in a circle shape. Now you're going to lean forward, and you're going to bring your tapping up behind your shoulders. To the back of the neck, switch hands. Now I'm going to lean forward, making that arch, and Continue tapping, reaching up as much as I can. Tailbone stays tucked under, so from the side I have that little arch in my spine. You will notice if you have any tender areas, that's what this is great for. It just gives you a chance to get a little extra tapping in those tender areas. Maybe you have a little bit of tissues that are strained from maybe sitting or doing some gardening or whatever you've been doing in your time away from your normal routine. Now go to the glutes, go down the back of the leg. Really get into the back, behind the knee, all the way down to the ankle. Come up to the hip, give a nice little extra tapping on the side of the hip, go down the side of the leg, front of the leg. Again, work on that crease, so where your leg bends, that's where you want to give some extra tapping. That's again called quad, and that's just a word to describe that bent part of the leg, where a lot of energy gets stopped. Come all the way down to your ankle, back to the inside of the thigh. Other side. So start up at the glutes. Make sure you do the tailbone as well. Tailbone is the beginning of your central nervous system. So when we tap the tailbone, it calms the mind. Come down the back of the leg, back of the knee, down to the ankle. Do the outside of the leg. You can be as gentle or as rough as you want with this tapping. Get in the crease of the thigh and hip. A few extra taps in that area, down the front of the thigh, to the ankle. Other side. Now we're going to go to the back of the neck again. We're going to tap. Come up the back of your head. If you are using something that's like your sock full of beans, or maybe you have your little whisk broom, use your fingertips right now and just tap the back of the head. Come up to the top, go around the sides, around the ears. Get lower so you can see what I'm doing. Over the front of your face. Open your mouth a little bit, tap on the sides of your jaw. And now take your fingertips and comb your hair back. So you're using your fingertips like claws and just brushing from your forehead all the way back. Good. So notice how different you feel. We're going to go to the hands next. So I'm going to use my thumb. And I'm going to put it right in the center of my palm, and I'm going to give a vigorous little rub in the center of the palm. This is the heart meridian. So I'm sitting here so you can see what I can do. If you need to sit down again, you can. If you are able to stay standing up, that's great too. So rub the center of the palm, go up through each finger, and give a little pinch at the tip of the finger, and go on the sides. So you're rubbing both from the base of the finger, top and bottom. We'll massage all the way to the tip, squeeze, and do the sides. All the way up to the top and squeeze. Try to go in between the web of the fingers as you transition from one finger to the other one. Now get in the meat of the finger. So what I want to show you particularly is this point here in the web of your hand. Use your thumb and measure from the knuckle, if you see where the knuckle bends, right to the web of your hand is where you lay the knuckle of your thumb and rub. So that's also a headache point. If it feels really tender, just spend extra time on it. We all have a little extra time. So all that time you used to spend traveling places, you can give yourself a massage instead. And rub thumb. Go to the other hand. Find the center of the palm. If you have arthritis, this is a nice way to get some circulation in those joints, and you'll find it does. May not feel good right now, but if you repeat this and continue repeating, getting the blood into the tissues, that's what helps restore the tissues. So rub, and as we age, like everything we dehydrate. So putting this massage to the tissues is very, very healthy for your body and all the joints. That's what the tapping helps to do too. Just moving that chi through the body. Go through each finger, sides to the tip, front and back. If any of my normal crew is here, which I've already got some emails, so I'm glad to know you're with me. Just let us know you're with us this morning. Come all the way. We're going to get to that web part of the hand. Use the thumb, bend the knuckle, rub into that point. Maybe one side feels more tender than the other. It's normal. Just be sure to give it some extra loving, a little more during the day. And go to the thumb. Squeeze. Now lace your fingers together. And don't do it the way you normally do. Reverse the way you normally do. So whatever thumb is on top, you're going to switch it. And then rotate the hands. So while we're here, we're rotating the joints this way. Let's do a little bit of a movement where you bring your arms out and we're going to spiral the tendons. So just like again, you're parting a wave, curl the wrist, and then make a claw with your hands. And you lower the wrist around the waist. And as I push my hands forward, curl the tailbone under. So you'll see this from the spine. This is normally done standing. I'm just doing it here to complete this part of our joint movement. You should feel a little engagement here as you're doing this move. Think again about spiraling. See how I'm curling my hands? And then I turn the wrist up so all of my knuckles are facing forward, like claws. One more. Curl. Let's do one more. It feels pretty good. Curl. Circle and think of spiraling those tendons. Good. And now just take a little moment, shake your hands, see how different your hands feel. Hopefully they'll feel a little better. We're going to go to the feet, and then we'll go back to some standing things. So again, in the chair, take off your sock if you have one. If you aren't able to lift your foot up very high, my suggestion is to get one of the dryer balls that you might have at your home. I'm not going to do it with this, but it's the same concept. You're going to just take a dryer ball that you might have in your laundry room and rotate it around the bottom of the foot. It's going to give you the same kind of benefit. If you don't have one of those little balls with the little spikes on it, you could use a tennis ball or golf ball or any little thing that you have. These are easy to find. Used to be Marshall's was open, so instead of thinking that way, you can just find something random in your house that would work. Let's come to the bottom of the foot. So with my big foot, you should be able to see as I pull my toes back, right under the ball of the foot is where we want to push in the thumb. So if you aren't able to bend your elbow and bring your elbow to that point and rub, which is the traditional way that it's done, just use your thumb, okay? If you live with someone, maybe you could have someone else do this for you. That's a real treat, right? So we're gonna rub this point Now we're going to take 2 fingers. Use your thumbs because you get a little more power with them. Start at the heel and slide toward the ball of the foot. And just push across the bottom of the foot a few times, going from one side to the other. We're going to continue using our thumbs for this massage because we get a little more power with them. And we're going to go around the ankle. So again, with the thumbs, you're rotating from the heel under the ankle. So the other part of the other fingers are working the other side of my ankle. And after a few rounds, again, this is the prostate uterus area. If it feels really tender, maybe you're a younger woman and you're getting your cycle, it would be normal for it to feel tender. Just rotate it around a few more times to get the blood flowing in those tissues. Thumbs again from the ankle down toward the toes on the top of the foot. And it's a sweeping motion with some pressure. So push down and try to go down in between each toe. There's a little dent, a little place between the bones. That's where you want to put the pressure in. And once you've done that a few times, pull the toes back, use your claw fingers, put them right under the base of the toes. Hope you can see this. And I'm going to be rotating or massaging right at the base of the toes. Now use your index finger and thumb again. And we're going to go through each toe. You can do both hands together and get the top, bottom, and sides all at the same time with each toe. Doesn't matter which toe you start with. It's easier to start at one end of the foot or the other and go through the end and give a little pinch. So again, massaging top, bottom, and sides of the toe. And a pinch at the end. Why are we doing this? Because all the nerve endings in your body and in your hands, your feet, the top of your head. So that's why these places are very important to work on. And again, if any area feels extra tender, you might have some extra time today or every day, and maybe just when you get up or before you go to bed, give yourself a little foot massage. Pull the toes back again, take your opposite hand and thread it in between the toes. Like you're holding your foot instead of someone's hand. And rotate the ankle. So we rotated the ankle a couple times at the beginning of class. This just gives you another extra juicy moment to put some circulation in the joints. It'll also feel very foreign to have your fingers between your toes, but that too will feel a little easier the more you do it. So pull out your fingers from the toes and switch to the other foot. If you have both your socks off, when you lay your feet down next to each other, you will notice a difference in the color. It's always kind of interesting to see the difference in how it looks with the blood flowing through your foot. Go to the other side. Again, use your elbow or thumbs, and we're going to go to that point right below the toes. So you pick what's going to be best for you and your ability today. Elbow rotates in circles or thumbs right below the ball of the foot. And now take your thumbs, go from the heel up toward the ball of the foot. Just get pressure in as much as it's comfortable for you today. If you can't do this, remember any little ball, maybe you have a cat toy or a dog toy that you could use just as much. If you have any other clever solutions, feel free to post them. Make a little massage under the ankle, from the heel to ankle, in that area. And use both thumbs again. Go from the ankle and slide it down to the toe. now take the fingers, pull the toes back, use the claws of your hands, and right at the base of the toes, massage. So my palm is gripping the ball of my foot. So as I massage, get the fingertips right at the bottom of the toes. Next, we're going to go through each toe. So use your pincher fingers, pick a toe, and give it a nice, healthy massage. A pinch at the end. I am looking forward to seeing all of you in person, but I'm really glad that many of you are joining in here because it means a lot that you're staying connected to every toe. And when you've gone through each toe, the hand slides through each toe. So lace your fingers in between those toes. Get them in there as best as you're able. And rotate the ankle once again with the fingers thread in between the toes. Good. And then pull them out. Once you're finished, again, feel free to put your socks back on as you would like today. Wash your hands over your thighs. So just sweep your hands down. There's meridians in the front and the sides of the legs and the inside, so sweep down. And remember, at any time when you feel like you're feeling a little stressed, it's just this little brushing. You're just using your hands. Another nice thing to use for some sort of a brushing motion, if you have a loofah brush, one of those shower brushes with the long handle, that's about the right kind of texture that you could use for some sort of brush to brush on the skin. Because remember, your skin is an organ. It's the largest organ that we have. And this brushing has a nice relaxation quality to it, as well as bringing circulation up underneath the skin. So remember that Qigong doesn't have to be anything beyond what you remember. And if you're not sure if it's working, trust that it's working. A river flows without thinking about it. So you have to remember, even if you're not sure what it's doing, it's working. It does it without you thinking about it. Just like your veins bringing the blood through every part of your body. It's not thinking about what it's doing. So if you start thinking about it, go back to your breath. We're going to go back to standing again. As you're able, we're going to go to a requested favorite, and we're going to serve tea. Remember, this is for the joints, and if the more, we're going to combine the movements that we did earlier with the hip movement and the spine movement, okay? And we did this as well. So all of this kind of comes together with teacups. The main thing is that if you are static and still in your body or really stuck, it's difficult. The more loose you are, the more everything's going to be easier. I have cups just for demonstration purposes, but it's fun if you have, you use a water bottle. If you want to use a water bottle, that's a little more weight, but you can certainly use this as a way of gaining weight in the muscles, not in your body. Use your fingertips at the bottom of the cup. So you see here, whatever you're holding, if you don't have a cup with you, don't worry about it. Just turn your palm up. And the key is that the thumb stays pointing up. I'm going to stick my cup here. So when I move my hand, the cup stays always facing the sky. So the key here is to not spill your tea. We're going to use one cup at a time. You can be doing this in a chair. So in a chair, same thing. The movement that we're going to be making is like a figure 8. So if you're in a chair, Bear with me if you're standing. I want you to stay standing. Curl. Bring the hand forward. Curl the wrist and slide your palm forward. I'll do it from the other side so you can see what's happening with my spine. My hand's going to come out to the side. Bend your elbow, curl your wrist. Lift your hand up, make a circle over your head. Curl the spine, tucking the tailbone under. Bring the hand forward. See my tailbone go back as I lift up and my heart opens up to the sky. Exhale, curl from the front. I'm opening my heart and lungs. Exhale, opening the spine and the kidneys. And in the middle, your spleen and liver are getting a little massage too. So, I'll stand at an angle. I think from what I've heard from some people, it's easier to see. Slide your arms straight back, curl the wrist. Keep your thumb pointing up. That'll help you keep the palm facing the sky. Roll the shoulders. Keep your knees bent. Tuck your tailbone under. Open your heart to the sky. Bring your arm out to the side, in the front. Bend the elbow and slide it straight back. Curl the wrist. Swing your arm forward, lifting your teacup into the sky. Take a long breath in. Exhale, slide the arm back. Curl the wrist, lift the elbow, tuck the tailbone, smile to the sky. Exhale, slide back, curl. So what are we doing? We're opening up the lymph nodes. Oops, I just hit the wall behind me. You're going to open up the lymph nodes. Guess I'll go at an angle again. Breathe in. If you're able to rotate the hips with this movement, you get a full body movement. So the spine, the organs, everything gets a little massage. The lymph nodes, right? Breathe in. Exhale. Inhale. Open the heart to the sky. Exhale. Try one more. Breathe in. Just do as much as you can. Remember, you're not being graded. No one's going to tell on you, especially now that you're at home. It's a great opportunity to practice. So now we're going to reverse. You'll feel this warming up the joint in the shoulder. So again, if you've had a shoulder injury, you're just going to do as much as you can. Don't worry about it. No one's watching you. Bring your hand up. Tuck under. Swing your arm out to the side. And as it comes behind you, if you roll the shoulder and bend your elbow, keep your cup up. Breathe in. And just move my body so you can see what I'm doing with my arm. I don't want to confuse you, but I want to help you see the action of the spine and the arm. Breathe in. Circle up. Open your heart. Exhale. Open the kidneys and spine. Breathe in. Big open heart. Smiling into the sky. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Curl under. Exhale. Switch hands. Take a moment to notice how warm the arm feels that you were just using. Again, it brings circulation into the joints and tissues, so it's a very healthy thing to get circulation, especially if you're feeling it here. You're getting blood flowing into those tissues and the glands and the lymph nodes. Draw the elbows straight back and curl the wrist. Roll the shoulder, circle your hand out to the side. This is not an easy thing to pick up on right away, but everyone in class was doing such a great job. I don't want you to lose the progress that we made. We're going to go real slow. Curl, lift. Inhale, big circle. Remember, focus on that tailbone. What are you doing with it? If you're keeping it still, this is going to be harder. Let your hips rotate. You go to the side, so you can see again. Draw them back, curl, bring your arm out to the side. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale. No need to go fast. Inhale. Exhale. Do one more. Hope you have a smile on your face as you open your heart. Exhale. Let's reverse. So bring your hand forward. Lift your teacup up. So go at an angle. Knees are bent. Arms going to come out to the side. Curl the wrist. Serve your tea. Lift your teacup. Inhale. Big open heart. Roll the shoulder. Exhale. Again, breathe in. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Both cups or both hands. So I'm holding cups. You do not need to hold cups. You can just have your hands. I'll do it without any cups in my hands so you can see exactly what I'm doing with my fingers. Elbows back. Roll. Keep your fingers up like claws. Again, see how I'm arching? That makes the movement easier. The more I curl my arms forward, like I'm bringing my elbows in front of my body. This is where it gets awkward. Tuck under, open your heart. Let the tailbone come back. Exhale, tuck under. Breathe in. So my arms are going to cross without touching. Breathe in, tailbone under. Open your heart. Exhale. Breathe in. Tailbone's back, heart's open. Exhale. And now we're going to reverse. So what are we going to do? I'm going to cross my hands. This is where it feels weird. Curl the shoulders. That'll help you keep your thumbs pointing up. Roll the wrist. Bring them forward. Inhale. Open up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Breathe in. Exhale. Bring your hands together. And then lower the palms to the lower dantian or the lower abdomen. Empty your shoulders. Just let them be soft. Take a couple of breaths. Now we're going to be doing a couple of last breathing exercises. So again, breath is key to keeping the mind calm. So if you're struggling through this time, turn off the TV, turn into a good book, or just focus on your breath. Take a walk, open a window if you can't get outside, listen to the birds, springtime. For now, we're going to do alternative nostril breathing, which is a yoga breathing, but it's applicable to any kind of circulation in the body. Our goal is to calm the mind so that everything can flow. If a river was afraid to go down the mountain because it was afraid it would hit a rock or a boulder, that would be a pretty neurotic river. So remember, don't worry. Just concentrate on what you can control. Follow along. We're going to use your thumb and your index finger. And we're going to be closing off one side. There are many ways to do this breath. In different practices, they show different ways. So this is how I was taught. I know other ways, but this is easy. Close off one nostril. Breathe in. Remember to keep your body long. Fill everything up. Close your eyes as you like. Close off the nostril you breathe in and exhale through the other side. When the breath is fully empty, close that side off, breathe back in. Close off the nostril, exhale. Close your eyes, don't worry, I'll guide you through. Fully empty your breath. Inhale. Feel everything in your body full of breath. Closing off the side you breathe in, exhale. When the breath is fully empty, we're going to breathe back in through the same side now. Breathe in. Feel every part of your body. Close that side off. Exhale. Other side. So the key here is to fill the whole body. Let the breath be in the body for a moment. Close off the side you breathe in. Exhale. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Exhale. And just let your hands rest in your lap. It's my honor to be here with you today. Before I close, I'm just going to remind you, rubbing along the collarbone, finding the spot at the bottom, at the end of the collarbone, right where the joint is, pushing into that point is another point for the lungs. Okay. Tapping in the thymus helps to stimulate the thymus. Tapping at the bottom of your ribs will help to keep the adrenals flowing. So try to practice any or as much as you remember this week, and hopefully I'll see you next week or Thursday at 1:30 for a yoga class. It was my honor to be here with each of you today. And until our paths cross, be well.